Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's primetime show. I will be your host for today, and my name is Wisdom Obonna. I have the pleasure of hosting today a peak performer consultant, an accomplished writer, a philosopher, a great thinker, and someone who has made an impact to our society. And his name is King Kennedy Odemba. Kennedy, welcome to today's Primetime podcast.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here once again on the Primetime Talk Show.
You are one of the co-hosts or co-founder of the Primetime Show. Can you tell me what inspired this Primetime podcast?
Yes, the Primetime podcast, was bettered actually in the library. Me and my very good friend Uche. He might be watching us here as well somewhere. He's not here today, but there was an idea that came up. I always like to go to the library. Library is one of my favorite places to spend time, after work. So on this day after we studied and we are having this conversation of creating something that we can come and explore ideas and help people, inspire people, motivate people, because we live in a world that, people go through mental challenges, struggles every day. And in our own little way, we want to help. And we came up with this idea that we should create a podcast, a platform where we can share knowledge, because we believe knowledge is power. And I asked Richie, okay, what should we call this podcast? We're just thinking, and randomly he said, Prime Time. I said, wow, that sounds good. Prime Time. You know what? We should actually call it the Prime Time Talk Show. And that was how joint ideas, two minds rubbing together. That is why, the Bible also talked about two heads are better than one, right?
Yes, for sure.
The Prime Time podcast was embedded. And today we've been recording for over a year now. And that is how it came about. And
awesome.
So excited that we are here today, the Primetime Podcast.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. You have written and published articles on living beyond limitations. Can you just try to tell the audience what it means to live beyond your limits?
That is a very good question. That is actually one of the biggest topics I talked about in my book, because I believe that we are stronger, smarter, more intelligent than we are. Based on my experiences, I believe that the way God created us, He didn't create us with limits. Human beings are, wired with unlimited possibilities. So that is why in my book I talked about overcoming your limits, overcoming like your own self, because I believe that once you can overcome your own self,
yes,
there are really no limits out there. So the fear that people face on a daily basis actually is not some kind of fear that is existing somewhere. It's a fear that people created on their own. So in my book, that's something I talked about. I call it a self-imposed limitation. Self-imposed limitation is something that came from like preconceived ideas. Somebody somewhere imagine that, oh, what if this thing doesn't work? What if somebody doesn't support me? What if people laugh at me?
The what if syndrome.
The what if syndrome. That is the biggest thing that can program your mind over time, and you begin to look as if it's reality. Why it's not real? So the fear that people create is not something that is external, it's something that is internal. That is why I believe that once you can overcome yourself, life progress begins.
Yes, this fear you mentioned brings me to the question I want to ask you today. You talk about facing one's fears.
Oh, yes.
So in your book, you mentioned it. Can you shed more light on that? Like, how can one face their fears? Because, in this climb now, people tend to, just like you mentioned, like people tend to fear the fear of the unknown. It's called fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the book I'm writing, I also threw light on that too. Fear is called fear on the when you fear what you don't even know, because people fear what they don't understand. When you fear what you don't, can you just tell us how can you face your fears?
Yes, that is a very good question. Facing your fears is something that should be, talked about more, because I think it was Brent Tracy in his book where he was talking about goals. He said, if you don't do the things you fear, then fear controls your life. So a lot of people are actually living their fears on a daily basis, which is now hindering them from pursuing their actual goals, pursuing their dreams, and they are hindered by this fear of the unknown, which is something that they impose on themselves. So another way to look at it is, false evidence appearing real. Something that is false. Like in your mind, you're like, this might hurt me. I give you a story of somebody, this lady who lost a friend of hers. This friend of hers travels abroad, goes to do business, like she travels like Dubai, China, and on one of the occasions, life happens, and she was involved in a plane crash and lost her life.
Tragic.
They were doing this together, this business together. And do you know that after this has happened for like over a year, this friend of hers couldn't go back to the business, because each time she remembers that, she's like, I don't think I should even continue with this business, because she lost her friend in a plane crash. So that she kept losing businesses, like everything kept going bad for her because of that fear that I've already programmed my mind. So she just believed that maybe she will get involved in similar kind of event, but that's not the way it works. Everybody has their own life. Because something happened to somebody doesn't automatically mean that it's going to happen to you. So all her life, she ended up, losing that business. She just got depressed. She couldn't go back to it. A lot of people are like that because of some kind of fear of something that doesn't exist. So each time she want to travel, she will even get to the airport sometimes, and she'll be like, I'm not boarding this flight no more. Everybody will like, well, you already paid for the flight. All that. The flash of what happened to her friend came to her mind.
Okay.
So you're not beginning to see that fear is something that people create, not something that is. People will still fly and come back.
Just come back as like PTSD or
yes. So that is how fear is formed. Fear is not something that is after our life. It's something that we create. So once we can overcome ourselves and increase our faith, we can actually overcome fear. It's a false evidence. It's not after us.
Yeah. You actually make a point.
Yes.
I remember a story. It's an Arabic story where an old man met a tempest.
Okay.
And asked the tempest, where are you going to? The tempest said, I'm going to the city to destroy it. And the tempest asked, how many people do you intend killing in this city today? The tempest said, well, I just want to kill a few hundreds. I just want to kill a few hundreds, and that'll be it. I will not kill much. Okay, now when the tempest finished rotting the damage and was coming back, it also met with the old man, and old man asked, why you said you're going to kill hundreds? Why did you kill thousands? He said, no, I didn't kill thousands. I killed the 100 I said I'm going to kill, but fear killed the rest. So that is just like an example of what fear can do. Sometimes people just get swayed from their dreams when they just allow fear to take over them. So yeah, you actually have a point. So now I want to delve into your book. Okay. For those of you who don't know, this King Kennedy is a accomplished writer, a voracious reader, and a prolific writer. He wrote this book, Living Beyond Your Limitations. Every day, it's in Amazon, it's in all the Barnes and Nobles. You can get it online, you can get it everywhere. It's Living Beyond Your Limitation every day, and it talks about the 12 profound principles of how to live beyond your limitations every day. So, Mr. Kennedy, in your chapter 2, you mentioned a concept, PVC. That should be on your chapter 2, you mentioned PVC. So, can you please tell us what that concept is? What's the concept of the PVC, and how can one apply it to their daily lives?
That's a great question. Thank you for that. PVC, one of the biggest topic I talked about in my book. It's actually I would say is the foundation that gave birth to all the chapters, because my book is a 12-chapter book. So PVC simply means picture venture capture.
Powerful.
Yes, picture venture
venture capture.
Another way I put it, PVC is literally, it can be CBR, conceive, believe, receive. So in other words, whatever you want in life starts with a picture. I give you an example. The book in your hand today, was once a picture in my mind 10 years ago. So also with anything that we are doing in our life, the aeroplane that flies, the cars that we drive, the iPhone on your hand was once somebody's picture. So
yeah,
it took courage for them to now begin to conceptualize it, begin to create it in their mind, and begin to venture into, which is PVC. They begin to venture into it. What does venture mean? Venture means going into something when there is a doubt, when there is fear, when there is criticisms, when people don't believe in you. You still venture into those pictures in your mind. So imagine somebody who created the phone, which is his name is Steve Jobs, who built Apple. Imagine the time when he conceptualized it and he was trying to venture it to create it what it is today. And maybe his friends were like, what in the world are you going to do? Are you telling us you're going to create a phone? People can exchange ideas, make calls, talk on the phone. But he told them that it's a picture I have in my mind. I've think about this. I'm going to create something that people can communicate. Even nowadays, people go to school online. People purchase stuff online. This is just a platform. Somebody actually imagined this in their mind.
Yeah, just like Carl Sandburg said, nothing happens except first to dream.
Except the dream. It happens in your mind. Everything that we in our world happens. So that is how that concept can be applied in anybody's life. My question to you listening to me now, what pictures do you have in your mind? So your picture is what is going to create your future. So for you to begin to change your life, you want to begin to change the pictures in your mind. Begin to expose yourself to things that you really want to do. Like, it can be daydreaming. It can be something that you wake up and you have this idea. People are going to try to talk you out of it. Even your own self, you'll be like, hey, can I actually do this? Is it possible? Is it going to happen? You have to venture into that idea, because even before you capture it in your mind, you already have the ability, because the way God created us, me and you as human beings, we are wired with unlimited abilities. That's what I talk about in my book. Human beings are wired with abilities that you've not even discovered yet.
Untapped potential.
Untapped. We have, it was Anthony Robbins who wrote a book called Awaken the Giant Within.
Awaken the Giant Within. Yes, that's true.
We all have some giant in our life that we have not discovered yet. So that is what this concept is all about. The picture of what you want to do, you venture into it, then you capture it. That's what see means. You capture it with precision, with confidence. Conceive it, believe in it strongly. Don't listen to what people are going to tell you. People are going to doubt you. They're going to say, how in the world are you going to do that? Your friends are going to criticize you. There's somebody that wanted to do that. If it didn't work out, are you going to listen to them and let your dream die? It is your dream. If it's a book, it's yours. If it's a song you want to write, it's yours. If it's an idea of creating an app, it's yours. Only you can sing that song. Only you can write that book. Only you can create that app. It is your own idea. Never let anybody talk you out of your picture. Your picture is your future. If you can picture it, you can feature in it.
Yeah,
that's another we can.
You can picture it.
You can feature in it.
So you feature in your future.
Yes. That's a very variable future. What do you want to see in 2 years from now? In 5 years from now, is possible. PVC.
But that's a very wonderful concept.
Thank you.
Picture, venture, and capture. That's a very powerful one. You also you made a statement at some point in your book. You said life is designed to give you what you deserve, not what you want.
Yes,
so could you please, that's a very powerful author. Could you please tell us what you meant by that assertion?
Wow, thank you. That shows that you've really, perused through my book. Thank you for that. I actually said that in my chapter 7, that life does not actually give you what you want. It's not what you want a life give you. It's what you actually desire. A lot of people, want to accomplish things in life. You might say, "Oh, I want to get this. I want, to get this job. I want to travel to this country. I want to buy this car." Yes, we all want things, but what life will give you is what you actually deserve. Why do I say that? Because you have to begin to develop the right kind of attitude, the right kind of skills, the right kind of knowledge that will attract exactly what you want. A time comes in your life when you have built your value, you've developed yourself, that you knock on doors and people will just look at you because of of what you've acquired in life, your profile, your potential. They will just hand you that stuff because they see the value in you already. So for you to actually get what you deserve, you have to, build yourself. If you want to, let's say you want to become a singer, for example, you want to begin to, do research about getting the right instrument for singing, going for rehearsals, doing your research in that field, whatever field is it that you want to become the expert in. You want to begin to develop yourself, add value to yourself in that area. The right opportunities, your hard work, your value of adding yourself. A real estate owner, who want to like get clients, would do research about real estate, would read books on real estate. You don't just want to sell a house, but he's building up himself, making his own, gathering knowledge. So the right clients, the right businesses, the right contact will just fall in place. So you actually attract to yourself what you want in life.
Oh, so you just, what you want doesn't just fall on you like a ripe cherry.
Oh no,
you have to work hard towards it. That's your
every day. That is why I said life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you deserve. You want to learn about this concept more, read my book, chapter 7, where I talk about discovering your purpose. You're going to be learning, exploring that part. It's a mind-blowing concept. You will eventually get what you deserve, not what you want.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. As a philosopher, I just want to ask a little bit of a personal question right now. Because, philosophers are known to be, some will say agnostic, some will say atheist, some will say, you guys believe in different, would I say, school of thoughts. And do you believe in God?
Oh, yes. I believe in God for sure. I understand what you mean. Like, I've been a philosopher. I actually had a classmate in school then who was working on a book. He said 101 reason why there is no God. Can you imagine that? He was a strong atheist. Yes. But people misconcept philosophers. Some of us who studied philosophy are not always trying to, give you reasons why there is no God. Yes. Why we argue about God in existence is because we want to actually have more strong evidence why we should believe in God. For me, I've encountered God myself. It was Bertrand Russell, a philosopher called Bertrand Russell, who said, you cannot understand the meaning of life unless you assume a God. And this philosopher I'm telling you about was also an atheist. For him to have said that, there's definitely some kind of God somewhere who is superior to everything, who is superior to, to our life. But if you look at, how beautiful the world is designed, the sky, the moon, everything, that the sun, the day and night, somebody intelligent, somebody who is superior must have thought about designing stuff like that. Okay. So for you to, assume the meaning of life it can be a bit, crazy if you don't think there is a God somewhere who is so intelligent to design all those stuff. So I definitely believe in God, and I know that He's superior to everything.
That's great. Would you say you're religious? Would you call yourself religious? Or because it's one thing to believe in God, and it's one thing to what's your your religious life? Would you say you're religious?
Yes, being religious, I will say rather more spiritual. I'm a very spiritual person. And, the word religious can be relative. I would say I'm a very spiritual person because I believe in revelations. Just I think I mentioned earlier, the book that I wrote came to me in a dream. That is, it's not ordinary. The caption "Living Beyond Limitations Every Day," came to me in a dream. That shows you that life is spiritual. So I'm more of a spiritual person than being religious. I believe there's some supernatural powers that controls this world.
Mm.
That everything that first happened in reality first happened in the spirit.
Mm.
So for someone who is listening to me, I strongly encourage you to also, beyond every concept I talk about in my book, I believe the most strongest concept is understanding that life is spiritual.
That's good.
And there is a spiritual being, call it the universe, call it something metaphysical, some call it God. He is superior to everything.
That's wonderful seeing
Yes.
someone like you as a philosopher. Like I said earlier, people you say you guys don't believe in God, and
This concept.
you that's beautiful. Well, okay, wonderful viewers. That's where we'll come to the end of today's podcast. Thank you for listening. And this primetime podcast will be creating wonderful and mind-tingling topics and subjects which you'll be interested. Just stay tuned until next time. Thank you.